is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show. This.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard, boys and girls. Time to rock and roll here at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What happened? What happened?
No, there was a Dolphin Dwayne stopped by. He said he's been a long-time listener. He stopped by a little bit ago. I don't know if he's still here, but
okay.
He stopped by to say hi.
All right. Well, Dolphin Dwayne, come on by. Always welcome folks to come on by and say hi. Man, this is a good day, huh? I like it. I like it. I like it. Good day today. Pause up day. Good move. I like it. I like it. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff we got to talk about today. By the way, congratulations to X-Man for honesty. It's about the only place outside of X you'll get it from me, but outside of that, you won't get it anywhere else. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a bunch of stuff on the Dolphins side to talk about today. Wow. You figure it's the off season. Yeah, we don't make stuff up here like other places. So we're not going to do that kind of stuff. But we actually talk about things that are going on, things that actually really matter in the Dolphins world. And we got some good, I think some really good news today. And then some other stuff that, those of you that are the regulars, you're always a step ahead of everybody else. You ever notice that? Have you guys ever noticed that? Those of you that are regulars on this show, you run into other people that might be listening, reading, watching other people and all that. And then you're talking Dolphins and you're telling them what's up. And then they're like in some la la land and you're like straightening them out. And then they're like, hey, that's what happened. That's the kind of stuff. So congratulations to you all out there, right in the world of reality here, instead of that fantasy world that they've got you over there in many other places. So got a lot of things to talk about today. Panthers are in action tonight. The Heat are in action tonight. InterMiami is in action tonight. I mean, dude, it's pretty freaking awesome. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? Oh, and by the way, Nova Southeastern in the Sunshine State Tournament is in action tonight against Lynn University. So we've got that going on too. I'm not going to forget Nova Southeastern, man, because they are one of the premier teams in South Florida, one way or another. However you want to look at it, they are one of the premier teams in South Florida, man. So anyway, how you feeling, man? You feeling good? Oh, they were losing. They pulled it out.
Lady Canes won 60-59.
Okay.
Over North Carolina.
Okay. All right.
In the Ally ACC tournament.
Okay. All right. Not bad. I like it. All right. We got Bitcoin right around 68,000. It's like 67.9, I think, the last time I checked. So that's also really, really good. See, oh no, we're at 68,000 now. We just hit 68,000 exactly. So we'll see if we set a new record while we're here on the show. See if we can go to, maybe it starts making a run to 70. By the way, it looks like it's altcoin season. Have you noticed? All the altcoins have been blowing up since yesterday. It looks like we kind of that one dip, boom, and those of you newbies, right? You had that dip to 38, right, from 59 to 38, and then it came right back up again. It came roaring back, right, or was it 49 to 38? I think it was 49 to 38, and then you had this dip back when it gets to 69. It goes down to like 58, 59, 60, and then now it's right back up to 68. You're learning, right? Because there's going to be some volatility is good if you buy the dip, because then you take advantage, You bought it at 59, 60, 61, and now it's at 68. You're already, ahead from that, extra investment. So good for you out there. But those of you that have been hanging in there with Cardano and with Polygon and with Cosmos and, you name it, Avalanche and whatever it is that you've been hanging in there, a lot of the altcoins have been blowing up. And any of you crazy bastards out there that actually want to go with meme coins, you're enjoying some success now too. So, ride it out, man. It's a good time. It's a really, really good time as bags are blowing up all over the place. So there you go. We got that. What else? Are you looking forward to Netflix and Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, Sean? July 20th.
I'm ready for it.
So it's no pay-per-view. It's just Netflix.
Just Netflix, straight Netflix. I think this is more of a test for Netflix. Again, they're getting wrestling as well next year.
Sports, yeah.
They're adding more sports, but to see what I think the realm for boxing goes, is it something that more people tune in for just the match, the boxing,
that one.
Do they add a platform to where you buy the pay-per-view?
Oh my God, that thing's gonna blow up.
Yeah,
it's Mike Tyson, bro.
No, I know that, but again, it goes. I think they're just testing the
Jake
market.
Paul has his own following. Yeah. That thing's gonna sell, dude.
I wonder how much they're paying each of those guys.
Oh, I would say think Jake Paul's going to clear 30 million at least.
Tyson's got to get at least 20 to take the dive, right?
Right. Well, I don't know if he's going to. that I don't think that's going to happen. I think
that's going to be the interesting part here.
I think he's going to fight.
I hope so, and I believe so.
Because he's fighting against the young guy. He's not fighting against another old guy.
Yeah. And you don't do your whole career that way, although the biting incident kind of took away. But what he was to boxing, and then you're going to go out and lose to.
Yeah. No.
This guy, I mean.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. So I think he'll actually try to, knock his head out. And he has to do it quickly because he's old. So, it's what date is it? In July 20th. He's got time to train and build up his wind. But he smokes a lot of weed, bro. A lot of weed.
That's one of the things that may this fight. It's going to be interesting to see what the rules are when they come out.
I mean, when you hit Tyson, smoke's going to come out.
No, it's true, but also what size gloves they're going to use. Is it going to benefit, Jake Paul? Is it going to benefit Tyson? What's going to be
it won't be.
It's going to be interesting to see like some of the setup for how they kind of take away. I'm thinking Tyson's power because you've seen the videos of him even still now these days. It's like, I don't want to get hit by that.
No, of course not.
No. Okay, you give me 30 million or not.
There's no doubt that he's still going to have some power. Now, the thing is, it won't last for a whole bunch of rounds. So, we'll see. They haven't really put out the rules yet. I read the article. It's just basic dates and all that. We don't know what they're going to make. We don't know any of that stuff. We'll find out later on, I'm sure. As time goes on, all that stuff will be talked to, and an undercard and all that. Well, they'll build it up. Yeah. Angelo De Jesus is number 1 today in the house. Steven Gonzalez in. I want Simmons next to Hope. Greer, make it happen. Yeah, you want to sign everybody. I got you. Let's see. Yesterday, you said you'd invest your 401k. Could you elaborate a little? Did you have to pay penalties? Yes, I did pay penalties. Yeah, I did. But I didn't care. Didn't care because I was looking at crypto at that point, and I got the bug. At that point, I understood what was going on, and because it wasn't just about Bitcoin. Like I thank immensely Alex Dono, because Alex is the one that just brought it up one day that he was investing in Bitcoin, right? But it wasn't just about investing in Bitcoin. It was about, why am I investing in Bitcoin? What is it about Bitcoin that is going to have the advantage over everything else? And then I started to learn about what really goes on, because I was the typical American. You don't follow politics. You don't really follow what's going on, finances, all that stuff. Very few people do that. That's the elites, the people that invest. Those kind of people have to do that because they've got a lot of money riding on it. So they need to know what people are thinking, what laws are being passed, what's going on in the Red Sea, what's going on in the Suez Canal or whatever. Everything and anything that could possibly affect your investment. Okay? A war here, a pandemic there, a recession here. You got to know about it all. And so it's not just, hey, let me go buy Bitcoin, which is what a lot of people are doing. It's more about why am I buying Bitcoin? And then I learned about our dollar and how devalued it is and where it's going and what our bank system is. And that's why I was predicting for years now, for like 3 years, I was telling everybody banks will be shutting down. And sure enough, it's already happened for many reasons. And that's what I had to learn. And then once I learned that, I knew that what was going on with my 401k was solid. It was steady, but it wasn't enough. And it wasn't enough to keep up with inflation, if you do the math. Because really, the number you're getting out there is really not the number that's out there. And your interest rates are not enough to keep up with the inflation and the dollar diminishing every year, because every president prints a ton of money, right? And so we were in the middle of the Trump presidency, and he's printing $8 trillion. Now we're in the middle of the Biden presidency, and he's going to print another probably $8 trillion, at least 7, 8, 9, I don't know, whatever. It's right around the same ballpark. So you put out 16 trillion more into the economy. That means the dollar's not getting any stronger. I just heard a congressman today say that it's good for us to print more money to pay for things, so that way we can get less money for grains and wheats and all kinds of stuff, because if we help stop what's going on in the Red Sea, and we help stop this, that, and by printing more money, we're creating a bigger problem and but it doesn't matter, because every president does it. Doesn't matter who you elect. They're going to do it. One's going to do it more than the other, right? Trump holds the record now. We'll see if Biden breaks his record, because Bush Jr. had the record, then Obama had the record. Now Trump owns the record, and now we're waiting for Biden, because it doesn't matter what party, that's the part that a lot of you don't get. And so that's what I had to learn. And so right there, I didn't care the penalty that I was going to pay for my 401k, because I knew the returns on Bitcoin were going to be so superior to anything I was going to get in my 401k return, and anything I was going to get in the stock market. And it's been proven that for the last 10 years, it's the greatest asset in the world. So I went with it, and then but I didn't buy a lot. Here's the funny part. I have very little Bitcoin early on, almost close to none, to be quite honest, because when I started, it was the back end of the bull run. It was when it went to 69. So I ended up buying it between the 40s and up to early 50s. And then I stopped because it was getting too crazy, and it was going into the high 50s and the 60s. And I said, yeah, that's a little, I'm never going to be able to own a Bitcoin. So what I did was I actually went the other way, and I was very smart in it. I bought Ethereum instead, and I loaded up on Ethereum where it was at 14, 15, 1600 at that time, and even 1700. And I loaded up in that area, and I had a heck of a lot more Ethereum than I did Bitcoin. And then the crash came, and the recession, and the pandemic and all that, and then everything dropped. And then that was my chance just to get Bitcoin. And so I started buying a little bit when it got into 40, and then into the 30s, into the 20s, and into the teens, obviously. And as it went deeper, I just bought more and more and more. And that's kind of the way I had. So I ended up getting my Bitcoin on the back end of this bear market, not from the last one. And then during that time, Ethereum also went down to like 900. And so we were able to take advantage of that. Ethereum, by the way, is about to approach 3,900. Patience is a key. You cannot fold. I like to use our Polkadot guy all the time, right? Polkadot's working its way to $11, and he was worried when it was $4 to $5. And what did I tell him? Well, dude, what you're supposed to do here, I'm not a financial advisor, is buy more. That's what I've been doing. So, and if you believe in what you're doing, and you have conviction, and you've studied it, and you're convinced that that's where you're going, then you invest. If you believe in Tesla stock, or you believe in Microsoft or Nvidia or whatever, you invest. If you believe that this property is going to become really valuable because the neighborhood is going to get gentrified and yada, 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 then you buy. And the neighborhood looks like shit. It's funny, right? People, when they invest in properties, sometimes they invest in them when they're all left up. When the neighborhood is not very good before it actually gets good, right? What's the difference when buying a stock when it's all the way down? When there's a recession, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you're supposed to buy. And that's where we go back to dips. If you have conviction, then you buy the dip. And you'll see your investment, multiply like you're fucking rabbits. So once I knew what I was doing, or I thought what I was doing, which, I know what I'm doing because my portfolio is 60-70% over. So I'm doing freaking phenomenal. And so I said, forget about it. Screw the 401k. I told you guys, it was making me $1,000 a year. It's not a lot. I don't have a ton of money, but I can make the little money that I have grow even faster with Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other like Cosmos or Avalanche or Polygon or Cardano or, and that's what I did instead. And then I've kept obviously adding to it throughout the entire bear market. Even when my portfolio was as negative as 70%. I was 70% under and I was still investing. Which is insanity, right? To the average person. Not when you believe in what you're doing and you have conviction in the companies that you're investing in, and it's already paid off for me. You know what I mean? I could completely cash out now and win, but no, I've cashed out. I've gotten my investments back along the way, and I'm cruising now. And that's kind of the way you want to do it. But it takes a lot of balls to buy that property in that neighborhood that you're seeing a mile away is coming this way, and it's going to improve it. And, it's a bad neighborhood, or it's kind of run down, or the house looks like a money pit, or the building looks like a money pit. You know what I mean? It takes balls to do that kind of stuff. And that's what investing is all about. I want to invest in this state and this rural part of this big city because this is going to be a new neighborhood. I'm going to buy a couple of acres and do my thing, build a couple of houses. And sure enough, a few years later, it does become more of a livable neighborhood all of a sudden, and your home and those properties that you bought for 15% of what it's worth now are exploding. That's what investing is all about. You got to have some balls, man. You got to be willing to lose. I have a saying in my life that I think we all should live by it. Success is fed off of failure. I've always said that. And notice it in your life. You fall off the bike, you get back on, right? You failed at first. Tried to learn cursive, it was a disaster. You failed at first. Tried to learn how to snow ski, water ski, whatever it is, you failed at first. Tried to be a good poker player, you failed at first. Everything. You fall before you can actually walk. Success is always fed off of failure. So if you're not willing to lose, if you're not willing to fail, you're going to stop yourself from succeeding. Pretty simple. None of us should ever be afraid of failure. You don't want to look for it. You don't want to strive for it. But it's going to happen for all of us. We're going to make a bad investment. We're going to make a good investment. But you can't get, gun shy. Like our polka dot friend, he's never, ever been back on the show on the chat board, which tells me his wife forced him to sell. And now he can turn to his wife and say, you see, it's approaching $12. All I had to do was hang in there. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, my brother. And again, I am not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. Okay? You make your own decisions. Do your own homework. The best thing is when you do your own homework and then you see what you're investing in and then you believe it, then it's your conviction. And nobody can take that away from you. Okay? And that's how I carry my entire life. Yes, sir.
So some stats from the Chiefs-Dolphins game. Remember how it was like the fourth coldest ever?
Yeah.
So they don't have exact numbers. But Fox4KC.com, there was some people that had frostbite injuries during the game.
Yeah.
70% of them have been scheduled for amputations now. Wow. The other 30% are going through hyperbaric chambers trying to save the
digits.
Yeah.
The digits or the limbs.
They said some people had their gloves off for 5 minutes, and that was just enough.
Wow.
Perk sent it out. I just saw the stat, and I was like, wow. And again, I don't know how many, exact the number is, but 70% of those frostbite victims are now being scheduled for amputations.
My God. That's terrible. That is terrible. So, Angela, I hope you got it there. Rob, Brooklyn Rob is in the house. Great move by the Panthers and Finns, but not as great. But not as great as the moves in crypto. Yeah, no, that's right. We're having way better seasons than any of our teams. There's no doubt about that, Rob. There's no doubt about it. It's like we're winning a championship at the end of every month. With the freaking green candle we're adding on top of another green candle, on top of another green candle, on top of another green candle. 6 straight green candles monthly for Bitcoin. Never done before. That's we're in Brady territory right now. Ray is in the house. We got a playmaking tight end. Please, McDaniel, no more fades to Tyreek at the 5-yard line. Throw it to the tall tight end. Thank you. And fast. Jonnu's got speed, dude. We'll get to that. Brian Walters is in the house. I think the Smith was a good signing. What do you think? There's no doubt. Tarachenko. Is it Tarachenko, right? Huh? Tarasenko? Yeah, Tarasenko. That's it. That was a freaking amazing move. And this Jonnu Smith move is excellent. So, and he fits what they do so perfectly, dude. So perfectly. Cosa Nostra is in. I will elaborate. Ray Sosa, Gus 1388. Yes. What you got?
I was gonna say, did you see they re-signed Gus Forsling?
Yeah, dude, 8-year deal, man.
40 million. I was like,
yeah,
it's like 46. It's like 5.5. I'm like, that just seems low, man. But I know hockey's different, but just seems like for everything that he does out there,
the most underrated player on this team.
Boom, you got a great deal here.
It was a steal of a deal.
Yeah, you got him in for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then they locked up the other guy as well, too.
8 years, 5.75 average per year for Gus Forsling. It is a steal, bro.
I understand the hockey pay is a lot different, but it just feels like
what he does every night.
5 million, 5.7 million for that.
I love that guy.
That's like
bro.
That's not even I think the veterans minimum in NBA is higher than that. You sit on the bench, right?
Yeah. That I think that's one of the steal deals out there, bro. He must love it here. He must love it here. Ray Varnicus is in the house. X says door is closed on return to Finns. Good call, Big O. Like I said, those of you that tune into the show, you know what's going on. You knew he was going to get cut 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Just like we told you 2 years ago, buy Bitcoin. Same thing. Anyway, Chad is in the house. Yeah, we do have a playmaking tight end. I think they're still good. I think there's still a chance they can get another one, bro. Saquon Barkley, a target. I don't think so, Lewis. But hey, listen, he fits. He's a terrific pass catcher on top of all of that. So in those, BS articles that are out there, they don't put Miami as one of the teams for the target for him. But I'm still focused on Derrick Henry, man. X is washed anyway, says Bill's fake crowd noise. Let's see. One-Eyed Jack. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Javier Hernandez is in Ocala. Brian Landis. Lisa Rose. Government time-stealing weasel here. I like it. Alex Palenzuela. Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs. Aye, matey. Cap for Life is in. NorCal is in. He's blazing in Placerville, California, about to hit up the Finlaw Gym. Tear it up, Big O. There you go. Low-hanging fruit, less jam, knows what we're talking about. Vinny Lenya, FL, Ocala Joe. He's in Las Vegas. Drove into Bitcoin Sphere. Bought it on the dip and also heading into the Vegas Sphere Tour. Nice. Good for you. Enjoy, man. It's really cool, the tour. The show is in the house. Giovanni Ray, thank you for the love and the super chat. Been a regular listener now, close to 10 years. Got to say, I've become a smarter fan and more educated. Shake my head at idiots on Twitter. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. We just kind of keep it right down the middle, bro. Right down the middle. We don't need to play no politics. We don't need to sensationalize shit. You know, there's no reason to bring you guys to the emotional brink one way or the other because I need views. I'm not doing that. It's just not my style. Karun is in. He says, Sean, will you and Frankie do the wrestling podcast before WrestleMania? Me thinks Rock will turn on Roman on the second night. Answer, Sean. What are you and that slacker named Frankie Fresco going to do?
No, we are doing them every Tuesday still now. We just moved them over to my channel, the Stanley Media House channel. And then, but I agree somewhat with you. I have a couple different working angles. I want to see it play out more. But ultimately, I do feel The Rock will somehow end up, with everything going the way it's going right now, costing Roman night 2.
There you go. Let's see. Think Blue Dodgers to Extreme. Popeye. Big O. Did cash out a portion of all? Did you cash out a portion? No, I canceled the whole 401k. Bro, I'm cojones. I'm all or nothing, dude. What the 401k was making me, I wasn't going to enjoy retirement for a long time with that. Okay, so you know, I've already flipped that 401k several times. So I'm good. But it's again cojones, man. It's cojones. You're gonna have to take risks in life, and you know, I told you when it was at 16. I told you when it was at 18. I told you when it was 20. I told you at 25, at 30, and it's gonna hit 70 now. Might be by 75 by Monday. You know, and it's just a Ethereum we talked about. There's a lot, man. There's a lot of coins we talked about that you guys could have made a lot of money on. Some of you, like Brooklyn Rob, are cashing in big, you know, because you've made some money from some of the stuff that we've talked about. And I kept talking about it, that this is the future. This is coming. But, you know, it's hard to believe stuff like that when it's really new. John Padilla, Devin Jordan, Lofi. Let's see. Team Wellness. Let's see. Tune in for sports talk and have to sit through 30 minutes of Bitcoin. Ugh, no thanks. Well, I know, bro. We're making money and you're not. It's all right. You know, I can provide a service here. It can't only be sports. So we can share all kinds of knowledge with you on this show. Okay, it might be betting knowledge, it might be investment knowledge, it might be sports knowledge, but I get it. Team E4E Wellness. You know, you're like a dense person. You've got you've just got one track, bro. Oh, I'm a Neanderthal. I just want to talk sports all the time. I've got nothing else about me. And so I get it, you know. I totally understand that. You're not going to enjoy it. We're going to talk a little music. We'll talk some entertainment. We'll talk some life. You know, we'll share our experiences. Sometimes you'll share yours. We'll talk wrestling, all kinds of things. You know, it's just not the kind of show that you might think it is. I get it. I understand. It's all good. You're not making any money. The others that are making money, they don't have a problem with me talking about some of that stuff like let's see, I gave you Ondo Finance at 24 cents. Where do you think Ondo Finance is right now, Sean? We gave it to him at 24 cents because, wellness man there, he's not into wellness for his pocket. Where do you think it's at? 50? 59. We gave it to you at 24. But wellness doesn't like to double his money. He's not into putting in 100 into Ando, and easily within a month of what I told you, you get 200. He's not into that. Put 1,000, get 2,000. Put 10,000, get 20,000. And by the way, it's going to fly way more. So if you got into Ando at 24 cents, God bless you. You know who you are. You're enjoying life right now. Okay? Ocala Joe. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Ocala Joe made a Bitcoin donation. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Love you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is a donation that will continue to give, and give forever. So thank you, Ocala Joe. Very nice of you, my friend. Very nice of you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your question, comment, insult, or tell me that you don't like making money like Mr. Wellness. He doesn't like making money. Speaking of making money, sports money now. We're going to make wellness. You may want to turn off right now, wellness. I'm going to give people a tip that might make them some money tonight in the soccer game. Okay? All right? I don't know. Wellness may not, he doesn't like making money. He doesn't. He's not really into that. He just wants me to break down Jonnu Smith. If I can't just break down Jonnu Smith, wellness is, he's a little disappointed with everything going on. So let's do this. Today the InterMiami squad is in the Concacaf Champions Cup, right? And they're on the road to take on Nashville. And I was looking. Damn it. Okay. Trying to get to this thing. Here we go. But Robert Taylor, I've won twice with him at plus like 2-something, 250, 270. Do we know if he's playing tonight or not? Can you find out to make sure? Because, okay, in 3 games, I've bet on Taylor. All 3 games, I've won 2 out of the 3. Why? Because you got to worry about Messi and Suarez. And he's up front with them. So I figure, and he plays well off of them, right? And he even passes well. He's a good player for them overall. Is he Messi? Is he Suarez? Of course not. But because of those guys, it elevates him and his presence. And so I've laid a little cash on him in every game, and I've won 2 out of the 3. And so this morning I went to it, and I'm going to do it again right now. I'm going to go to it. I reset everything because I had to reset it here on the Hard Rock. But I think I saw it where it was plus 325. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. How can it be that when he's scored twice out of 3 times, right? And so let me see. Here it is. Player props, goal scoring anytime. And Taylor is plus 325. I'm correct. Okay. And Campana is plus 240. Now, Messi is plus 135. Suarez at plus 195 is not bad. That's actually not a bad player prop right there, taking Suarez at plus 195. But I'm thinking Taylor at plus 325. I don't know why it's there if Vegas hasn't noticed he has scored 2 out of the 3 games. It doesn't say, right? So I would figure Taylor's going to start, right? Has Michelle Kaufman reported anything on Taylor injured? I have not seen it. I just want to make sure, right? Because it seems too good to be true for me. All right. So Taylor, for me, I think I'm going to take Taylor right now and place that bet. Well, can I or what? Because I think that the Taylor bet is a good one. Just saying. If you're going to watch the game tonight at 9 o'clock, Suarez at plus 195 is value. And Campana plus 240 would be value, but he just really hasn't gotten it done. Let's prep for the man. So Campana hasn't gotten it done at plus 240, but again, it might be a decent value. But I'll tell you this, Robert Taylor at plus 325. I like that one for value, I gotta say. So that might be one you wanna look at if you're doing looking at this game as an option. All right, I'll get to some Dolphins talk in a minute. Steve Calabro, baby, in the house. General manager here, baby, driving it.
Let's talk a little Dolphins. We can talk a little Dolphins now.
We got your tight end.
I didn't hear.
Jonnu Smith. FIU kid, speed guy.
Wow.
Good player. I really love the pickup. I still think there's a chance they still get another tight end.
Yeah, I don't think that's the 100% answer.
No, but I love him. I love him. He's way better than Smythe. Oh, my God. He makes Smythe look like a snail. Okay, so they added speed.
So he's almost like a slot receiver.
Yeah, and Greer,
that can block.
And Greer stole it with a 2-year special again, a 2-year $10 million deal, up to $10 million. So it's really not even $5 per year. It's less than that.
That's nothing. What's the cap hit?
It's
probably less. Yeah. Probably less than $10 million. So how about we were talking?
It'll be less than half of that. It'll be like $4 million. 5?
It's 5.
Huh?
Oh,
the
that's
cap hit. Yeah, but then it depends on the signing bonus that lifts it up 2.5 the cap hit and then the signing bonus. But that's a regular 2-year special by Chris Greer.
Nice. All right, so sounds like Coach McDaniel listened to me.
Yes.
Okay, you got to have a tight end in the. It's nice to have a tight end in the mix, like most championship teams do.
This is one of the fastest tight ends in the NFL.
And Kenny blocker, what's your?
Not a great blocker. Not a great blocker. But again, it was the Gesicki thing. Dude, don't be an idiot.
Just call the plays with that work for the guy.
Rondé Gadsden couldn't run.
Yeah.
He couldn't run. And you knew exactly what was going to happen. It was a fade down the sideline in the end zone, over the middle. Were you going to stop it? No, because that's what he does.
Yeah, that's what he does well.
The 50-50 ball was a 70-30. Because have you ever shook hands with Rondé Gadsden?
No, I haven't.
It's like shaking hands with the banana pile. You just
got more than 5 hands.
Well,
fingers.
Well,
more than 5 fingers.
It looks like it's more, but it's like 5 fingers that like swallow your hand up.
Actually,
your hand like disappears when he shakes, and then you're like, no wonder he was like catching everything inside. And he for a short time he had a catch against the Raiders that it's a famous catch that he's literally standing sideways, and he caught the ball like that one-handed.
Well,
and then once you meet him, you're like, no wonder, dude.
He can grab things out of the air.
Yeah.
Well, I did. It's not necessarily, he wasn't a football player, but I did shake hands with Manute Bol.
Oh, there you go.
His fingers were like longer than they were like 10 inches each. They were really, really, really
long. I was impressed that he developed a 3-point shot, which shows how he can, his fingers are so long or for the ball. Like Shaq could never even shoot a free throw.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it was hard. It was funny watching Shaq do a free throw.
Because it was hard for him to put spin on the ball because his fingers were so long. And Manute Bol had the same issue, but he figured out a way. It's like you grabbing a softball and trying to flick softball. And it's hard, or maybe even a baseball in their case. I don't know how much bigger their hands. I remember the Doc. When he would play against somebody, he'd have the ball out in one hand like this, and he'd be looking at the guy, and he'd be pumping. Nobody ever did that. The Doc was like that. And then you didn't know when the Doc was going to go on you and then just cross it over and take off or whatever. But he would do that with one hand. And why? Because his fingers were almost meeting on the other side of the damn ball.
I got pretty big hands, but I don't have Manute Bol fingers.
So when I went to the Hall of Fame for Marino and in the induction, they had Oronde's catch and his gloves there. And so my point is, Arande, there was no mystery to who he was.
And so that's what you're hoping happens with our tight end.
But,
So,
but it would have happened with Gesicki because he caught 70 balls the year before with the deadbeat.
no, but I think
And
that's that's learning on the job. That's what you said about on the
That's
job
bad-
training.
That's bad coaching.
Well, it's
bad
but it's on the
coaching.
job training, and that's what you get when you hire a guy that's
Well, I would hope.
never done it.
I would hope. Okay, because this is the part that you're not going to get in any article locally. You're not going to get on any platform anywhere else or any other show. Okay, because they're not going to think about this like we do. I would hope that this time around, Chris Greer sat down with Mike McDaniel and said, "Hey, by the way, all right, we're going to sign this guy. Okay, but I signed Gesicki last time, and you refused to use him, and this guy's not a great blocker either. So we're going to use him, right? I mean, we're signing him, but you're going to use him, right? You're going to."
I think he says you're going to use him or else. I don't know if you say right.
I mean,
you're being too nice.
That conversation has to be
It has
had
to.
because you can't be a GM and say, okay, yeah, we're going to sign him, and then you don't make a freaking effort.
You
to
know what
play
the weapon
guy.
is. Use the weapon to it at its best. And so we'll see. Let's see.
Watch the highlight against the Ravens the year before, where he high points the ball, and Mike McDaniel, there's your light going on. High point everything with this son of a bitch.
But it's interesting, that whole Shanahan tree thing. Kyle Shanahan didn't really use Kittle in the last 5-6 games, or actually this year. It was
it was kind of an
Kittle's
off year.
way better.
Yeah.
Than his.
But they use
play.
him. He's such a monster blocker.
I know, but
so they felt that they would rather highlight the running back than the tight end. And then they did use him towards the end there at the.
I didn't think they used him enough.
In the playoffs,
though.
in the last game they used him.
Yeah, but he's so much better than that. I mean,
I'm not arguing.
He's so much better than that. I mean, he's a premier.
It was weird.
He's a premier tight end that is a great pass catcher and a great blocker.
Yeah,
that's like maybe 6 or 8 teams have something like close to that, and
it was weird.
That was a strange thing.
It was weird, but I love the pickup for the Dolphins, guys. I think it was a phenomenal pickup, a great contract, so maybe it starts to calm people down about this whole offseason shit. That's why I told you guys, hey, why don't we relax and let's wait for them to actually go out and do what they have to do and see who they sign, who they trade for, who they find in free agency, who they find undrafted, who they do draft.
I mean, free agency hasn't even started. Really.
These are guys that are not tied. Yeah,
these aren't. Yeah,
and that's a hell of a pickup.
Yeah, so
it's a hell of a pickup.
What about what we talked about? I think last week, Buffalo. We were talking about who's the AFC contenders. Buffalo just dumped.
Got gutted.
Man, 5 or 6 guys, right? 7 guys, maybe.
The Josh Allen contract is
kicking in. The cap is kicking in, and they cut $37 million. They still got to cut a couple more million, $3 or $4 million. So. It was weird that I didn't.
2 years from now, we're going to have that problem.
Yeah, let's.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay, but let's get successes in the NFL. It's what have you done for me today?
But that's my point. You better succeed this year or next, because 3 seasons.
If not, you're restarting.
Now,
you're starting.
Yeah, no, it's just because Waddle's full contract's going to kick in. Holland's full contract's going to kick in. Tua's full contract's
going to be full blast.
So there's going to be a lot of these contracts, because they can sign Rob Hunt and make it very manageable this year, have a really low number, and then next year have a decent number, but his third year it's going to be unbearable. And then that's what they're going to do with Tua.
But the cap does go up. The cap goes up every year.
Yes.
The team cap. I mean, not enough, but
the problem is it's too many guys that you hit on that in the next 3 years they have to get paid. And they got lucky that Jalen Phillips got the knee injury. Unlucky and lucky. Unlucky that now you got to go through the injury. No, unlucky that he didn't stay healthy, because if he stays healthy, that's another contract. Because now you bought yourself a couple years, because Jalen Phillips is not going to be himself this year. So next year he comes back on a prove-it type deal, and then he gets an extension after
following year, yeah.
Yeah, and then he won't even see the big money cap-wise. They'll manipulate that the first couple of years.
Yeah, for 2 years after
so that'll buy you a little time. That's why Tyreek will be off the books in 2 years. That third year when Tua kicks in and Waddle kicks in and Holland kicks
Tyreek
in.
will have it. It's done?
They'll move from him. Trust me. He's got 2 years left, and then they'll move from him in that third year. The other guy that's got 2 years left is Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead's deal, they'll get out of it in 2 years also. So they're really hoping he doesn't retire, because if he retires, brother, that creates so many problems for this offseason.
But what you're saying is you got to do good this year
and next
year and next year.
You have to,
or else.
Or
and at that point,
it becomes so hard the year after that. So you really have, like, your window is closing in these next 2 years, I think. And then you're going to be able to mortgage the future a little bit more, but the credit card runs out, and then eventually you got to pay the piper. And 3 years from now is when it really gets ugly, and then it really becomes a challenge.
I want to bring it into. Have you seen the Mustang downstairs?
Oh my God,
the Mach, whatever.
You know what? I should have taken pictures.
Mach E. I forgot what I was going to say. Mach E. Very nice looking. Very nice looking. You would look good in it.
Yes, I would.
You would look good in it.
My wife would look sensational in it. We're going to be.
Well, she looks sensational on a regular basis. I mean,
but she would make.
I'm trying to make you look a little better here.
No, but she would make the Mustang look better.
She would enhance it way better than you would. I would definitely agree with that.
I don't enhance anything.
No, but you would look good in the car.
I think you devalue everything. Okay.
No, you would look good in that car. You would look good in that car. And anytime you want, you can go take a spin. It's fast. It's pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, although it's a cool car, I'm wondering about electric cars. They're electric cars are just. I love customers. There's a whole segment of customers that like it. This one's a cool electric car.
Yeah, this one gets over 300 miles.
Yeah, this one's got a decent, and you don't have to worry about like towing or something like that. Like that's not a
no.
Pickup trucks, it doesn't. That didn't really work. The towing package deleted the
Look, where I trip out on is people go, okay, great, it gets 300, but what about if you got to travel? And I'm like, rent a car, dude. Why am I going to use my car to go travel to New York or Ohio or whatever? Let me rent a car and beat the shit out of that car going to New York. Get the kids spilling hot fudge on there. Get the aunt smoking
I'm going
cigarettes.
With these guys. They got hot fudge.
Hot
fudge and cigarettes.
Come on, if I'm going on a long trip.
You got to tell Auntie to stop smoking next to the kids.
Whatever, but you know all the stuff that goes on. They're farting. They're doing all kinds of things.
What's wrong with farting? It's a natural thing,
Okay, but let's fart in the rent-a-car, Don't fart in my car. So I'll just leave my car home, and then I'll take another car. By the way, 300 miles is easily to Disney.
Yeah, it's
and you can just charge it and come
plug
right
in overnight. Yeah, I mean. So it's down there. You earn entries any day now. It's March.
Yes.
Go downstairs.
The more you play the slot machines, the more entries you get.
March 30th. We're giving it away. Remember what it is. March 30th.
March 30th.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Which is
no. It's March. It's the Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday, but it's Sunday 1 a.m.
It's Sunday 1 a.m. It's March 30th.
Late Saturday night becomes Sunday 1 a.m. That's when
we call it gaming day.
Right, gaming.
The gaming day starts at 6 a.m. and it ends at 5:59 a.m. See, it doesn't end at 12 midnight. Who stops gambling at 12 o'clock? Nobody. People start at 12 o'clock, right?
So come on out of here and join us on the 30th, because I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be out here.
It's a hell of. And then I got to tell you something. Get a little report back to the sports betting. We had a really, really nice January.
Nice.
I want to thank you guys and all your listeners.
There's the QR code.
We had a very nice group that signed up from all over the place. A lot of Miami-Dade people, and we had a couple people from out of state. But
we have a ton of people from out of state watching.
So just so you know,
out of state,
you got to sign up in Florida. But you can use it in like 10 states right now, and that's growing every day.
Right.
That's sort of like a legality thing with the app has to be legal in that state. So, for instance, Hard Rock, it's the Hard Rock app. That's who we're partnered with. So it's obviously it's legal. It's definitely legal in Florida. It's also legal in New Jersey. So if the New Jersey people are here, they can sign up and they can play it while they're home in New Jersey and while they're visiting in Miami. So. Right. We had a really nice January, and so that's a good thing. But I think
one more thing I want to remind you guys, just in case you already have a Hard Rock account, you use the QR code or you go to the Hialeah website to open up your new account. Do not use the same email or phone number you use with your Hard Rock account. Use a different one so you can get the no regret first bet $100
through Hialeah Park.
Okay, through the Hialeah Park website is where you go. So follow it there, and then it'll guide you through there, and you'll just follow the steps, and you'll get it done, and you'll get your $100 no regret first bet. And I'm telling you, Robert Taylor tonight plus 325, scoring anytime. InterMiami and Nashville tonight. I've won with Robert 2 out of the 3 first games that I've had.
Really?
Because he's playing with Messi and Suarez. So you're worried about Messi and Suarez, and he's up front with the other 2 guys. So, and he's a good player. He's turned himself into a good player here the last couple of years. And so since Messi got here, his star rose. And so now he's playing him up front with these 2 guys. You worry so much about him that Taylor, and I don't know why, I've won twice out of the 3 times, and Vegas has him still at plus 325. Suarez, by the way, at plus 195. Like Messi's plus 120. That's but plus 195 with Suarez.
There's no value there.
There's value with
No, I mean in Messi.
No, but with Suarez at plus 195.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good bet.
For Suarez, I think that's really good value. And then for Taylor, plus 325. Shit, dude. Hell yeah.
So I will tell you, you must have been talking a lot in January about, obviously football's the number 1 sport that's bet on.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, the NBA gets a lot of action. We saw the breakdown of between sports. We haven't seen soccer yet because it wasn't occurring for at least in January. But we get like a delay. We like get this weird delay. It's way more delay than it should be, but it's been real good. And we want to thank all your visitors, your listeners. And yeah, there's a lot of decent picks, and there's a lot of games, and there's a lot of action there. So that was a little bit of a pleasant surprise. So we want to thank you on that one too.
What we got to do now is get to the point where you guys build a big sports bar here.
I know.
And then we do a gambling show every day.
Well,
to preview all the stuff coming up.
I would love
horse
to.
racing, betting, football, basketball, baseball, hockey,
you
soccer. Know. We got all 5 sports now, dude.
Well, we don't have a sports bar yet.
5 sports.
We don't have a sports bar yet, but down on the casino, on the slot floor,
the Flamingo Lounge.
The Flamingo Lounge.
Freaking
so
cool, dude.
it has. I guess,
love broadcasting.
How many televisions are in there? 9 TVs, I guess.
A bunch.
9 TVs.
The whole round.
It's either 9 or 12 TVs. And then just outside the lounge, I just put 8 more TVs on the column, right? So there's like 17 TVs right near the lounge there. So it's not a sports bar to speak of. It's our center casino bar.
I did a whole year
of sports.
I did a whole year of pre and post game shows there for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's a nice little place.
It's
we should
awesome.
even talk about going maybe
couple
times downstairs. After we've been up here a lot and it's good, but down there isn't bad. We've been down there.
Wherever you guys want to put us. He doesn't mind. I don't mind. Champions Club downstairs here. I have a good time either way, man.
Well, maybe we can get it where there's actually we can be making. We'll have to figure it out. But anyhow, so back to that. I just
think about a live gambling show every day, so we can guide people to the app and tell them what we like and all that kind of like what I just mentioned now about Taylor. That I think Taylor's a little bit of a bargain today, and so is Suarez. And that's something that nobody's.
Have you been to a game yet?
Huh?
Have you been to a game yet?
No, not yet.
We just bought our tickets.
Oh, you got season tickets?
Yeah, the problem is it was hard to get good seats. We have so seats, right? I mean, we just weren't available.
I disagree with you. There's no bad seats.
That's because it's a small venue, and we bought them now
so you can get in
because we can get in the big one, right? So when they build the big stadium, so we'll have a little better choice there, and we're still on a waiting list for a little better seat, but I'm going not next week, the following week. So I'll report back at. Now I will tell you. I'm going to leave you with this because, I always get him upset about New Jersey, right? I'm not going to talk about New Jersey. Not going to talk about.
My cousins are from New Jersey. I just like to make fun of New Jersey.
Come on now. The Jersey Shore is as good as it gets. But,
but the smell isn't.
But we don't like the show Jersey Shore. Nobody from Jersey likes the Jersey Shore show. Those guys are all buffoons, right? But we like the Jersey Shore.
I don't know. You produced them, not me.
No, they're from New York. They're from they're kind of infiltrating into the Jersey Shore.
Oh,
yeah, they're not real. Most of them aren't from New Jersey. See, they're kind of like outsiders. You can pick on them.
Okay.
But now I'm going to go a different direction. So I happen to live I shouldn't even say this on here, but I live in a little town that's north of here in Broward.
Right.
It's a nice beach town, right? And it has like 2 words to it. It has a fort in it, right? So that the mayor there, who I don't really know, but he makes a good point, the mayor. Inter Miami does not play in Miami.
Well, not yet.
They play. We're talking about today. What have you done for me today, right?
You know the Miami Fusion never played in Miami either.
I'm not talking about the Fusion. I'm talking about Inter Miami and Messi. And Messi, the whole Messi mania, it all happens in Fort Lauderdale on Commercial Boulevard.
Miami FC didn't play in Miami. They played at Tropical Park for a little bit, but then they played at Fort Lauderdale Miami FC, and then they rebranded to Fort Lauderdale Strikers. The Miami Fusion never really, because the first plans were.
Where did Fusion play?
They played in Fort Lauderdale, right there at that.
At the stadium.
At that spot, but at the old stadium, they played in the dump.
Yeah, they renovated it.
Right. And so they were supposed to play in Miami. There were all kinds of renderings. There was one even on Key Biscayne and everything, all that kind of stuff, and it never materialized. So then they had to move to Fort Lauderdale, but they never changed the name. They still were the Miami Fusion, and they were playing in Fort Lauderdale.
That's what's happening now.
No, because this is truly a temporary site, and there isn't a.
There's no shovel in the ground.
Oh yeah, no, it's already gone. Yeah, the construction's been going on, dude. They had to do remediation before construction.
I know, but you know how construction is always costs too much and it takes too long.
No. Dude, you know how long it took them to build that stadium?
How long?
8 months.
No way. They're gonna
8 months.
No, what they're building though in Miami, it's not gonna take
a year and 4 months.
I say it's 6 months late.
No. It's private. It's private construction. You keep thinking public.
Well, yeah, but the public's involved. Forget it. Yeah.
It's over. This
public,
is his money. He did it in 8 months.
All right, but
8 months.
But
dude, he built a stadium and a soccer academy in 8 months.
But the last 2 years, this year, next year, and potentially the following year, Inter Miami plays in Fort Lauderdale.
But just this year, next year they play after.
Yeah, but they played the last 2 years.
But you knew it was always temporary because Miami Freedom Park was gonna, remember it's the whole Wayne Huizinga thing.
Yeah,
Wayne had the Fort Lauderdale Florida Panthers. He didn't name them Miami. He named Florida Panthers because he knew he was going to Fort Lauderdale.
He was going to Broward,
and
he went to Sunrise.
And he had the juice in Broward that he didn't have in Dade.
Yeah.
Like Mickey had the juice in Dade that he didn't have in Broward.
Yep.
So the Moss family has the juice in Dade that they don't have in Broward. So everybody builds their stadium or arena where they have political clout.
So Big O, what is the definition of juice? You said they had the juice.
Brother, listen,
what exactly is juice?
I can only talk about it, but I don't know anything about it because I'll never have that kind of juice.
I don't know if you want to give the definition on air or anything.
So that's really what it is. And so the same thing, Wayne borrowed Miami for a little bit until he could then open his arena.
Fort Lauderdale is hosting the Inter Miami as we speak. And just another defending the geographic turf that I frequent. I frequent on a regular basis.
I get it, but it's too simplistic for the mayor to put it like that. When
he was going nuts. He was going nuts. I don't think he's ever played a sport in his life, but that's another story. A good mayor, but not a
good mayor, but one that doesn't present things with context.
Yeah, it's totally out of context.
You know what I'm saying?
Although I will leave this too.
Sensationalism
at
its finest.
Well, he is a politician.
But we've been talking about other things, and it's like that's just another piece of it.
So I'll leave you this last thing. So I was in the little grocery store. This was actually back a little ways. It was during the pre-NFL, pre-start of the season. And, Publix says the skinny aisles, and I'm looking down the end of the aisles. Jesus Christ. How big are those two people? There's a guy and a girl.
Frank the Tank?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was Joey Bosa and his mother. They it looked like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Joey. The son, Joey.
The son,
yes.
the San Diego player, with his mom. Two very, very well. They weren't like overweight. They were just very low, especially Joey. I mean, the mother was bigger in size for the
Oh,
average
no,
woman.
the dad's a monster. I thought
Well,
you were talking John Boza. That's
no, Joe. I
John
thought
Boza was a monster, dude.
I don't know how he started. There's no way he could buy anything on the lower two shelves. He was so high.
Yeah.
He was huge,
Yeah.
and he was just big. He's not just tall, but
Yeah.
he was huge. And he's I guess he's a local kid visiting his mom, and he was.
Yeah, they live here.
And Nick lives.
They all have homes here.
Yeah, Nick lives right on the
They're in the- they're in the-
A1A.
They're more Palm Beach people, I think, if anything, right?
Well,
Or Northern Broward or something.
no, they lived in Fort Lauderdale.
They were in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. They lived like on.
Okay.
You know where?
Because I know that Dad had the strip club up in Palm Beach.
Yeah, that's where his business was. But they actually
Okay.
lived. You know where Dick's Sporting Goods is on US 1 in Fort Lauderdale? It's like
Yes.
just a little west of that.
Oh,
Just a
okay.
little west of that. Nikki now has a condo over on A1A. I don't know if Joey has a home in this area. Probably visits. I'm assuming his mother lives. Although they might have moved, and they got plenty of money. They're signing $30 million contracts. Maybe the mom moved.
No,
wherever you wanted to move.
No, John's been a successful businessman too.
Yeah. But they're not together. That's
I know, but it's not like they ever were poor or anything. John's a smart man. He also made himself, because he played in a time of football where
they didn't make any money.
Yeah, you weren't gonna retire.
And he
off
was
of
a
that.
first round draft pick, right?
Yes. And he would have been a beast.
Think about that.
I know he's viewed as a bust, but he's a bust. But I never view him as a bust like Eric Kumaro. Like Eric Kumaro proved that he can't play and he wasn't good. John Boza would have been a monster. It was just he was snake bitten with injuries.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that he was lazy. It wasn't that he wasn't a good player.
He produced two very good players.
and I know people that played with him and practiced with him, and they swear to me like this guy was going to be a freak out there. But unfortunately, the body doesn't hold up, and the body doesn't hold up.
That's part of the game. That's unfortunately part of the game. But at any rate, just wanted to come by and stop and say sports betting is alive and well in Hialeah Park.
Thank you, sir.
You know the QR code. Mustang is alive and well. And poker, we have our high hands.
Place is packed.
The place is packed today, and when we have our, even if we don't, when we have our $5,000 an hour high hands, that's great. But the other days are just as well. They're maybe they're not 5,000. They're they're 2,000 and 3,000, so they're also very, very competitive.
What other thing you got going on here? Because on Thursdays that lot is overflowing, dude.
So that's downstairs bingo. Downstairs
That's
bingo.
okay.
Downstairs we have live.
It has
That's
to be, because I know it's not. Like this is packed, but the cars that are out there, they're not all in here.
Yeah, so
they got to be downstairs.
We have live bingo on Thursdays.
You notice, right? When we leave.
Yeah.
Like it's not like when we get here, it's starting to like, but when we're done with our show this afternoon, you walk out there, there's not a car, there's not a
spot. Yeah.
There's
That's bingo. That's bingo. So,
yeah.
And we do that 3 days a week. So that's,
okay.
It's a hot one. And it's right on the casino floor. So you can be playing your slot machine while you're playing, your bingo card.
Oh, wow. That's
and
cool.
You get 4 cards. It's kind of, Yeah, because the guys here sometimes play the.
Because you're playing poker and bingo
some poker guys are also playing slot. You have to play. It's a slot promotion, but some of the poker players also play slots.
Right, of course.
So they go down, they get their bingo board, and they play it here. So
okay.
So anyhow,
there you go. So
there's always something to do.
And the loosest slots in the state, and that is documented,
which matters. You
right.
know what matters to that? I mean, like you can play. It's not like you go to the big box casinos. Those corporate casinos.
Some people are conservative. You're loose.
Listen. Well, I don't know. No one's ever called me loose. Right?
Well, apparently you are here in Hialeah.
But I just think
you guys live the loose life.
No, I've always wanted to give people a shot. Give people a shot. You go to Hard Rock with a small bankroll. You're not. I shouldn't have said Hard Rock. To a big box casino.
Right.
I didn't say Hard Rock. Get one of those big box. Beep that out. So if you go to one of those big box casinos or one of those corporate casinos where there's the company owns 100 casinos, you're gonna get crushed. You go in there with a couple $100. 15 minutes later, you're broke.
Right.
And it's not gonna happen here. It's not gonna happen here. You're gonna get some time, and then when you have time, the more time you have, maybe you got a shot to hit a jackpot.
Yeah.
You hit a jack. We pay some serious jackpots. Yeah. We had some serious. We're adding a new one too. So we have a jackpot. The most popular slot machine in the country is Dragon Link. Link. So they have Dragon Link. the jackpot starts at 10,000. It usually hits around 15 to 20. Then we have a Dragon Link that starts at 50,000. And it usually hits between 70 and 110, right? Now I'm starting another one. I just ordered it. It's going to take about 3 weeks to get, maybe 4. It's going to start at 100,000. So that baby will go to 150. That's you. That's your money right there.
It.
That's you and Sean, man. 150,000. That's now you're talking.
Love it.
Maybe it goes to 200. Who knows? It depends on how it goes, but a little expensive. It's a little pricier though.
So when somebody wins like $100,000, is there like an IRS agent waiting for you there to like cash in?
No, we don't. No. Here's what happens. Just there's no IRS agent. The answer to that question is no, but we do have to fill out a W-2, a W-2G, a W-2G.
I'm joking around.
A W-2G.
I'm joking around because you see it in the movies like there's somebody there waiting for you with cash. Oh, sir, you want how much? What is your name?
No, but you know what's cool about it? So we've had people, many, win like 100,000, 115,000, 120,000. And you'll be surprised. Some of the customers, they said, give me a check. Give me a check because they're worried. They don't want to walk out with 100,000.
Of course not.
And some people say, give me cash. Say, sure, no problem, sir. We give them cash. So you get a choice. Or we'll give you you want 100,000? Why don't we give you an $80,000 check and here's 20,000. You can go, play around
shop,
with.
Bro. You're giving me a check. I ain't walking out with.
Why? Cash is
no
king.
No way.
Cash is king.
No,
Bitcoin
is king.
It is king. I will admit, I have screwed up. I have screwed up.
No, forget about that.
No, I did.
Plenty of people screwed up. That has nothing to do with it. The story of when it hit 69 is the best. Okay, we had a whale that had a ton of Bitcoin that he bought in 2010. I think I said 24. It was 30 cents.
Really?
So he felt like cashing out, which is going to happen along the way. That you're going to have. Notice we're at 68 already. We're right back to where we were already. Like people because the institutional money that's coming in, it's not retail money that's coming in. This is all led by institutional.
Listen, I'm not on this.
Everybody's adding it to their 401ks, 3-5%.
It's the story of how I did not make my millions.
That's lots of people.
That's one of my stories.
Lots of people. Don't worry about it. I'll come by and pick you up in my Acura NSX one day, and we'll take a cruise.
Okay, all right.
At 140 miles an hour and have a conversation. No, but seriously,
I'm not getting in that car with you.
How cool is that dude hung in there?
And he made a score. And
he didn't cash in on the first go around. That guy had the balls.
Oh yeah, he had to wait it out 3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
That dude had the balls to wait for it to go back down to 16 and then come back up to 69. And he said, now this time I'm going to cash out. Because he probably said at 69 last time, now I'm going to hold off. It's going to go more. And it didn't. And it went back down. This time it met that floor and he's the guy that brought it down to 60.
Hey, good for him. He was
God bless him.
He risky, he took a risk and he played it out. And
I don't blame anybody that invested and you want to get your profits out. That's your right.
My problem with all that is I'm too conservative of a personal investor.
What's conservative about something that only goes up?
No, I know, but it's a little more volatile than
the volatility
than a lot of.
And as I keep
I'm talking about dividend stocks. I'm getting paid every 3 months. That's a very conservative.
Okay, so Nvidia goes down 200.
I don't buy. I didn't.
Hold on a second. Nvidia goes down $300. What are you doing?
Oh, you're done. You're hurt. You're crushed.
What are you doing?
Well, I don't. I buy stocks that are dividends.
Okay,
that grow very little.
So, but it's at 800 right now, correct? I think it's 800, 700.
I heard it was 880. Yes, 880 yesterday. I don't know about today.
So
8 something.
So something happens in the market, and there's a flash crash, and it goes down to 580. So if you don't believe in Nvidia, you're just going to stay there, or are you going to rebuy at that point?
Well, I think people would rebuy. Smart people would rebuy, right? Because if you believe in it, I know.
So what's the difference? That's my point. If it's Microsoft or Tesla, you just said it, you buy. So why is it that you're not buying this?
I don't know. I don't know. You're right. I don't know the answer to that question. I think I'm brain dead about it.
And it's stronger than all those stocks and more powerful, and you gain way more money with.
There's a perception that I have that is potentially wrong, but of the volatility of it. Because it did go. Think about what happened. It went from 68 to 16 and back to 16. That's a volatile commodity.
But why did it go there? Because we were in a recession. So
Yeah,
people were banking against the recession. So they went and hid their money in Bitcoin, and it soared to 69. Then the government said, hey, we're going to give out free money, and we're going to flood the streets. And so then, as all commodities do, they sell all risky commodities, and because they hand you money. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, but if you understand the investment cycle, right? There's no difference, actually.
But I'm talking about human nature.
Tesla went down during that time to $105.
But Tesla's hurting now too.
Okay, but at that moment they went down to 105 like a year and a half ago, and then they soared back up to 300, and then I think he split the stock, right?
Yeah. Now it's a $180 stock.
There'll be no splitting. There'll be no more extra reprinting.
But it's human nature. Like it's hard to buy anything when it's at its top. It's hard. I don't care if it's NVIDIA or it's Bitcoin or it's Microsoft.
And why is it that human nature forces them? Retail buys it all at highs. They all buy parabolic
because they're smarter than the average schmo.
No, but that's not smart buying parabolic. What's smart is when it crashes
to pick it up.
That's when you buy. When we're in the recession.
I know, so that's my point.
Exactly.
It crashed, and I didn't listen to you when it was at 20 and 30,000.
But recently when it was at 50 something and went down to 38.
I didn't listen to you then either.
You take it at 38, you were at 69 now. You're feeling great. Now it went 69 and went down to 58, 59, 60. You take it there, you're back to 68 again. You're already making money.
Yeah, that one I missed though. That one I missed. That was a quick one though.
My point is the volatility is an opportunity.
I know, but I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that just says, "Send me a check." You know, I'm not. You're way more risk taker than me.
Yeah,
I'm and I know people are even less risky than me.
Yeah.
But, hey, I learned a lesson. But listen, my son is 31 years old. My son still reminds me. He said, "Dad, remember when I was 13 years old? I told you to buy Apple stock." Well, I wouldn't be here. I'd be retired. I'd be sitting on the house on an island, right? If I listened to my son, it's a story of how Steve Calabro has to work and didn't make millions. It's really my story. Not a bad story. I'm a blessed guy. I love my life. I'm consistent.
Maybe your job is to give away millions.
Maybe that's what I'm put on this earth to do.
You're a giver.
To give money to people
You're
to
a
win.
Giver. You're a guy.
I'm loose and I give.
You're loose and you give.
On that note,
there you go.
All right, Steve. Take care.
Much love, brother.
Take care.
The great Steve Calabro. All right. Great stuff as always. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you all out there as always. All right. What do we got here? The show is in the house. Adam Hurley, Eddie J. De La Torre. Remember the Art District. Houses were super cheap. Yeah, man. Remember that? Fire and Ice was in the Art District. You used to go to Fire and Ice on Thursday nights, and brother, you had to have your head on a swivel. Kind of like going to Churchill's back in the day, right? Right off of 55th and Biscayne, but it's like North Miami Avenue or something, I think it is, right? And 55th or something, Churchill's. That wasn't the best neighborhood in the world either, man. Yeah. By the way, those neighborhoods are getting gentrified. You invested early, you won big. Same thing. Edward Thurston Howell is in the house. He likes the Jonnu Smith signing. Big O, I have Algo, ETH, Matic, Ada, Vet. Look to expand. Any recommendations? Ondo. I would go with Ondo. That would be one. Let me see. Algo, ETH, Matic, Ada, Vet. Cosmos. Cosmos made a nice move of $2 in the last couple of days here, from 12 to almost 14. But I think it's going to go to 50. So Adam would be one. Remember, you can stake it on Exodus and get 14.75%. H-bar. You don't have H-bar? H-bar is up to 13.5 cents. It was all the way down to 4 5 cents. Let's see what else. You don't have Chainlink. Chainlink's at 20. Chainlink, I believe in this bull run. I'm not a financial advisor by any stretch. I believe in this bull run. Chain link will go over $100, and it's at 20 right now. So I'm expecting a 5x with chain link from here. Okay. There's a couple for you right there, my brother. Neutron, I thought at $1.40 was at a nice floor, and now it went up because 2 days ago it was at $1.40. It's gone up, not like an immense amount, but I think that Neutron right now is actually still a pretty good value. It is at $1.54. I would definitely go with that because Neutron has already peaked in the $1.90 area. So it's $1.53 right now. It's going to go more, but I'm just saying it's lower than where its other peak was. Neutron's another one that I like there. Those are a few there, my friend. Okay. You can check those out. All right. What else do we know? Daniel Marquez. Okay. Sea Devil. Let's see. What up, Sean and O? Good move by the Dolphins signing the former FIU. Yes, sir, Josh. Dude 67. Cap for life. Horn Dog. Thank you, Horn Dog. Hey, the show is in. I could worship Tua. Big O. Why hasn't Chubb redone his contract and Ramsey? I don't know yet, man. I don't know yet. Maybe they don't want to redo certain contracts. Maybe they'll redo other contracts. We'll find out. On the Dolphins side, all right, first of all, X-Man was on with Joe Rose. And he and by the way, I heard the interview. I love how Joe painted the whole question to X about how Chris Greer was, the door is open. All that. And really, Chris Greer didn't show any kind of emotion because he never does. And, he kind of like politely kept the door open. But see, here's the problem with this whole situation. And I love Joe. And I got nothing against other media members and all that. But I'm going to call shit like I see it. Okay? There was no reason for Joe or anybody else to act dramatic about, leaving the door open. Look, I'm sorry if some of you out there lack common sense. But I told you the door was closed already. Okay? There was no door open. There was never any door open. Hell, I told you X would be cut 2 years from now. Did you see the quotes? Did you see the quotes? Did you see the interview? Huh? Sean? Did you see the quotes? You see the interview? Huh? You didn't? Okay. I know you're getting entertained. So, here's the quotes. Okay, I'm gonna play or not play. I'm going to read the quotes for you because to me, I find it freaking hilarious, right? Because he answers it and he tells you exactly, right? First of all, about the door being closed. That door is closed. I'm sorry, I did not hear that at all, but I know that door is closed though. So. Last week, Greer said, we're going to stay in communication as the process goes and see what happens. And we left the door open for him possibly coming back here too. 3 magical words, right? Right? I get that maybe some people out there, fans, and maybe even some of the media haven't gotten this and they haven't understood. Maybe they need to listen more to our show. But you know how the game is played here, right? We've talked about this already, right? We've deciphered everything that goes on here. So when Howard was headed into the third year of his 5-year extension he signed in 22 after the guarantees of his salary ran out. That factors why Howard said he wasn't surprised he was released. Listen. Yeah, I was thinking it could happen in this business. You know how it goes. You feel it. I've been here 8 years, and I've seen the business side of it so many times, and I knew how it was planned out, and me and my agent talked about it before we signed our last deal, that's how it was going to happen, and that ended up happening. And I wasn't surprised at all. So Howard and David Cantor, his agent, know that he was going to get cut after this offseason. I knew he was going to get cut after this offseason 2 years ago, but yet let's act surprised in the media. And the whole thing about leaving the door open, that's what Chris Kerr says to everybody. So why are we going to, make it sound like, and I get it. I don't think my man Joe and maybe Chris, I don't know. I'm not in Chris's ear or anything, but obviously they don't get along or something. But all I have to do is read the tea leaves and see what goes on. And Chris Greer is not a confrontational person. He's not going to, have you ever heard him slam a player? He doesn't do that. He's not going to slam anybody. He's not going to negotiate in public. He's not going to give you anything. So he never made it like, oh my God, arms are wide open. He says the same company line he says about everybody else, including Christian Wilkins. So the door was closed on X. That's it. They gave him the deal, and time's run out. It's over. Unfortunately, you got to move on. And in their case, it was more than time to move on. They actually hung on too long to him, to be quite honest. Let's just call it like we see it. But I get it. They were trying to make a run. So it's understandable. But X, come on, man. It's no surprise here. And nobody was really keeping the door open or anything like that. That's a company line. Let's all, let's not be naive, or let's not create some sensationalistic thing that really doesn't exist. Okay? Because then you spin it to make someone look bad. And there's no reason. This was the business. It was done. The deal was over, and you move on. With Wilkins, that relationship was over last year. When he had to play this last year on 1 year's salary, it was over for him. And he was not happy that he did not get paid last year. Okay? Christian Wilkins wants to move on. He's not going to tell you that because that's not who he is either. And the Dolphins aren't going to tell you, yeah, we don't think his value is that money that he wants. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to, oh, well, we tried. We were close. We couldn't work out a deal, because they're not going to trash people. What do you gain from that? You don't gain anything from that. But it's great for people in the media because now you can use that and then sensationalize it one way or the other. Instead of just, hey, have you noticed this trend? This is how he approaches all these things. We're the ones that told you about that 2-year contract trend, right? And again, here's Jonnu Smith signing a 2-year special, right? So it's just kind of like, just watch what goes on. Don't listen. Watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. What they do is exactly what you need to know. And it's there every single time. The example is there over and over again. Doors open, always a very cordial way of approaching things. All of that. Why? Because it's not good business to air your business. So let's not act surprised when somebody, if they're writing, oh, I guess the door's closed. Really, dude? Really? Are you really surprised? Is that really what you're writing? You're writing something to add a little drama to something that really was never going to happen? That's just crap, That's just to get you guys riled up and then get you to dislike somebody, one side or the other. 1 week it's the player, the next week it's the organization, the next week it's the trainer, the next week it's this, that. Let's just, question and add drama to all kinds of bullshit. By the way, you see the youth fair there. The 15th will be our first broadcast. They open on the 14th. It runs through April 7th. Opening times, except for spring break, will be at 4 o'clock. Weekends for spring break, they open up at noon. Parking is free every day. Guests 5 and under and 65 plus get in free every day. Pretty soon I'll be getting in free to the youth fair. You can experience Space Venture with the space theme experience shows and rides throughout the fairground. And again, parking free. Same convenient location right on Coral Way off of Southwest 112th Street. Ticket pricing, general admission, $16. What else? They've got unlimited ride tickets for $40. So check it out, folks. You can buy tickets online or at Sedano's before you arrive to save and avoid lines at the expo. Okay, so check it out. More than 80 rides and 130 food stands. And no pickled lemonade, Sean. I'm sorry. I was really disappointed for Sean in that meeting. I said, "Oh my God, Sean's going to be heartbroken. There's no pickled lemonade." That's just not good. Pickled lemonade is important. Ethereum's about to hit 3,900. H bar at 13.5 cents. It's up 8%. Avalanche up 5% to $43.66. Let's see. Immutable X, I love, up 6% to $331. Algo is up 11% to 28 cents. SHIB is headed down. Whoever had SHIB, I told you to get your profits when it peaked. Let's see. Alethea, Liquid Intelligence Token. AI play that we have won one time big already. Now this is our second go around with it because it dips and you buy again. And so it's up 28% to 4.5 cents. So enjoying big profits if you got in Alethea early. And Bitcoin is at 67,478. So it continues to flirt in that 67, 68 range. Okay. Injective Protocol is up 14% to $44.45. Axelar, we told you about Axelar when it was at like 99 cents and $1.04, $1.10. It's at $2.24. It's up $4.23 today to $2.24. You would have already doubled your money if you got into Axelar, and I love Axelar. Cody, that has gone up a ton, is actually down 4%, down to 20 cents. So that is some of the coins. I can't tell you everyone that's riding, but that's some of them there that are riding and riding big, baby. They're not riding dirty. No. No. All right, so let's see what else do we have on the chat board. Xavien Howard was going to sign again with the Dolphins, but a nuclear war is going to happen. Nice one, Edward, playing off that dude yesterday. I like it. Jay Gelfer reminds everybody to smash that like button. Ray says, watching this show makes you realize even more lack of objectivity and complete misinformation there is out there on TV and radio shows. Yeah. Yep, because it's not fun to tell you the truth and just stay boring that way. It's fun to sensationalize things and try to make it more than what it really is. Oh, Chris Greer said he had the door open for him. Really? Is that really the way you're going to play it? Is that the way you're really going to look at it? Are you that gullible? Did you really fall for the banana in the tailpipe? Seriously. Because if you fell, at least, all right. Armando Swain, incentive equals money for me. There you go. That's what it's all about, baby. Vinny says, I've loved seeing Jasmine grow. You damn right. You like making money. That other guy doesn't like making money. But that's all right. We're going to make money, Vinny. It's all good. Juan, didn't Trevor Lawrence get paid in Bitcoin? No, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. It was Russell Okun. Maybe, you know what? I look it up. He might be right about Trevor Lawrence, but I want you to know when Russell Okun got his $13 million from Carolina, I believe it was, dude, that was a few years ago when Bitcoin was down. He must be up like, I don't know. You know what? Let me see. Russell, you do that one. I'll look up the Russell Okun. I'll tell you exactly what he's up. Russell Okun up on Bitcoin. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Where is it? I know I saw some story about when he got his Bitcoin, and I didn't lock up that story. I think I didn't save it, which is bad. But I thought I saw it where it was talking about what he had inherited. Let me see if I actually saved it here. Maybe I forgot. No. Oh well. All right. I don't have time to if you could find it for me, Sean, I would love it. Because I know that if he got paid like 13 million, I believe it was in Bitcoin, it's got to be, 30, 40 million right now. Easily. Horn Dog says, that's what's great about your show. Oh, it never repeated conversations, repeated interviews, never 20 minutes of commercials. Keep doing what you do. We try, my brother. Thank you so much. Weaver's motto, leave it to Weaver. There you go. Robert Taylor should be able to play. There aren't any reported injuries outside of Alba being a bit dinged up. Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen anything. So for me, I love that bet at plus 325. You know what I mean? It's 1, 2 out of 3 for me. So I'm ahead. Buy that juicy dip, says no doubt. Keoki Smith, Tua loves tight ends through a lot in college. This system loves tight ends. And Tua needs a tight end. He needs a third option that he can go to. Again, I don't think they're done. I think if there's another opportunity to get even a better tight end, I think they'll do that. Okay? Big O is talking money to a casino owner boss. Hey, man, I can talk money. That's all, with anybody. I can hang with anybody nowadays. Vishal says 401k at 305k at 44 dot, keeping that shit to be millions on top of my Bitcoin in a decade. Exactly. Market volatility equals opportunity if you think long-term and stay the course. Brett Dodger knows his shit. He knows his shit. Rosendo, Big O Nation, may being grateful become a routine. May God's blessing come daily. And may we always be at peace with our decisions. Amen to that, sir. Amen to that. As much as X made scenes to get paid, he knew he wasn't getting any moat money. That's right. And if he's going to come back, he's going to come back on a dirt cheap deal. And they're not. I think they're kind of done and they're moving on. Overall, I don't even think low-hanging fruit for him. Maybe for Baker, but not for him. Good evening, Big O. And even X knows that the Dolphins was more than fair to him while he was a Dolphin. If anything, he should be professional with his attitude towards this organization. I'm definitely with you. Hell, Big O, they didn't really want to pay him after 10 interception season. Yeah, because it's kind of like you knew that was the peak. That's why I said you got to trade him now. I'm boycotting the fair this year on behalf of Sean because of no pickled lemonade. Okun had half his contract in Bitcoin, 6.5 million of the 13 million. Okay. 6.5 million down to 3. Now it's 58 million. Wow. That's what Mark Smith said. I don't know if it's that, but I know it's something ridiculous by now. What do we got?
No, I mean, if you're doing the math, I didn't see any articles saying everything was that I saw was where he lost money. There's no positive articles. It was just
because it was for a few years ago.
Yeah. Nothing shows as of today, so I don't know.
Okay,
maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot or whatever.
There was somewhere I saw an article that talked about how much he's up now.
And then Trevor Lawrence put his signing bonus in, but then there's a whole bunch of stuff kind of going against whether he really did or it was just a ploy to make it look like something. Yeah, because he was part of the FTX thing as well. So there's just a lot going on there.
Okay. All right. So we talked about X-Men. And X-Men Wilkins, you can forget about a return for the 100th time, by the way. Okay, just so you don't start with the sensationalism. Oh, Chris Greer said the door was open for Christian Wilkins. Brother, the door's open for everybody. That's just the way he is. He's going to leave the door open because he's a nice man. Jerome Baker is the one guy that I will tell you that if you're going to say a guy that has a chance to come back, he's coming back from an injury. So he's not going to have the same kind of market he might normally have. So Miami is saving nearly $10 million by cutting him. And again, the three magical words, low-hanging fruits. Okay? Weaver may want him back, and maybe McDaniel wants him back, and maybe Brandon Shore says, okay, but this is the number we want him back. And that's where Chris Greer wants him, and then Brandon Shore's got to work it out and figure it out. But that's about the only way. If he comes back on the Dolphins' terms. And it'll be kind of a 2-year special again because he's coming back from an injury. You know, one of those type of deals. It's not going to be a long-term deal. It'll be a very short-term deal, and it'll be a low-hanging fruit. So if Jerome Baker wants to come back, he's a good dude, by the way, and he's a solid player. I give, X and Wilkins, I told you, those things are over. Over. The Jerome Baker one, just a little chance, because of his situation. And I don't think he's going to have this incredible market out there, to be quite honest. What else do we have going on? I want to pose a question to the Dolphin Nation out there, because personally for me, I found it humorous watching so many of you lose your shit because Christian Wilkins is gone. Okay. And, picking on the organization, or you think he's great or whatever it is. So what I want to ask you, if you're actually honest with yourself, okay, Christian Wilkins ended up getting 9 sacks this year. Okay. That was finally the thing that he needed to kind of break through the glass. The glass ceiling was those 9 sacks at least, right? Like, hey, he hasn't proven that he's a sack artist. So he breaks through that glass ceiling in a second contract year. Because remember, he had a contract year the year before. That's usually when, Raekwon Davis just had a contract year. Did he play like he deserved a big-ass contract? No, right? Sean's like all of you are saying. So Christian Wilkins couldn't come up with that contract year last year. So it took him the second year, and he came up with it, right? Now, was it complete? Kind of an incomplete for me because, as I've expressed, he kind of was a bully and took advantage of all the bad lines. That's where he got his sacks. Bad teams, bad offensive lines, that kind of stuff. So let me ask you, that was his 6th year that he just played, right? I would imagine, because it was 5 years, or was that his 5th year? I forgot what it is. 5 or 6 years into his career now, right? And his final years where he got the 9 sacks. So I want you to ask yourself, is Christian Wilkins considered a pass rusher now? Do you consider, everybody that's on the chat board right now, do you consider Christian Wilkins a pass rusher because he finally got 9 sacks in a season after averaging 4 or 5 every, last couple of years? He wasn't really much of a sack artist. But at 9, you're now starting to get into that territory. So is he considered a sack artist in your eyes? Just ask yourself that. What is it?
2019 was drafted, so this will be his 6th season, right? Am I counting that right?
The one that just
19,
happened?
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, right?
Well, he hasn't played 24. 23 he just played.
So he's going into his 6th season.
He's going into his
So he's played 5. Okay.
He's played 5. So 5 years it took him to get to 9 sacks. Is he a sack artist? Is he a guy that you scheme for? Is he a guy that puts fear into an offense every week? Because that's your reaction for those of you that are insulted by it. or think that you shouldn't let him go or whatever. And tagging him, it just creates problems for you. As I told you, it just creates problems. You don't need that problem right now. You need to, you guys want your team to improve, don't you? Well, they're going to need flexibility. So you want them to become inflexible? That's not smart. So to become inflexible with a player that doesn't deserve the contract he's asking for? So ask yourself, is he a pass rusher? Just because of one season? Does that make him a pass rusher? Not in my eyes. So why would you be so insulted that they don't want to pay him $25+ million a year? Why are you so insulted that they don't want to give him $60 million guaranteed up front or whatever they're going to give him, whatever stupid, ridiculous number you give these people up front at this position? I'm not exactly sure. And I'm getting, let's see. No, nope, no, hell no. Big O, 2 words, hell no. No. But Zach Sealer is. Don't ask Jason Sarney that. Why? Sarney thinks Wilkins is a pass rusher? Well, I disagree with Sarney on that one for sure. To me, he's not worth more than $15 million a year. You know what I mean? I love the guy's attitude, you know, and it's always great to have players like that in your locker room. I get all of the things that we like about Wilkins, but we also have to kind of sit back and say, dude, is he Jason Taylor? Because that's what we're going to start paying him, like he's this franchise-changing player. That's what he's asking for. Is he that guy? Is he Jalen Ramsey? Is he Teron Armstead? And you can't say that he's that kind of player. And that's where I don't understand the overreaction from Dolphin fans out there. Listen, Chris Greer, Reggie McKenzie, Marvin Allen, Mr. Shore, okay, because he's got to work the cap and everything. They get paid a lot of money to do this job. And Chris Greer told you 30, 40% of rosters every year are turned over. So why are you surprised that a bunch of players are cut? This is part of the game. And part of their job is, okay, well, I'm going to cut this guy. Well, I'm going to go find me a tight end in Jonnu Smith. Okay, mission accomplished. Now it's their job to go out and find a linebacker, whatever it is that you need to find, a tight end, a corner, an offensive lineman, a D lineman, whatever that you need. That's your job. That's what they get paid to do. And I love the, oh, they're not going to be better than they were this year. They were completely injured last year. If they just stay healthy at the end of the year, they're better. All they got to do is stay healthy at the end of the year. Because that's really been the bugaboo for the Dolphins the last 2 years more than anything else. They've been so injury-riddled. They had the worst luck. But please don't make it sound like it's the last 10 or 20 years, because it's not. It's really the last 2 years. The other years are, you know, we had bad coaches, no quarterbacks, whatever. It was just terrible situations, no defense, no running game, whatever. We were just not good enough. These last 2 years, they were good enough. It's just they were too injured. Welton Rayom, by the way, they bring it 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call Jeff Welt right now, folks. 954-966-4646. Save that number. I'm telling you, something may happen to you down the line, and then you need to call a lawyer right away. And you're going to say, dude, who's that lawyer that O talks about? And then you're sending me a DM in the middle of the night, because it happens, early in the morning, middle of the day. Oh, dude, this just happened to me. Can you give me the number from that lawyer? 954-966-4646. Welt and Rayom. Please call Jeff Welt. The consultation's completely free. So if something happened to you a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, maybe, you know, the statute of limitations hasn't expired. So call Jeff Welt, 954-966-4646. Give me a 2-minute break here so I can rest the throat here at the Big O Radio Show live at Hialeah Park. So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other, and then they bite each other, and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in that corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. See, getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InterMiamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Back here at Hialeah Park, second floor poker room. By the way, it is packed. Okay, people are gambling their guts away, which is a beautiful thing. TVs everywhere, so you can watch some of the games going on, racing going on across the country, and of course, remember that you also have the $100 no regret first bet here at Hialeah Park. So go to the website, use our QR code whenever it does come up. And remember, coming out here, you can play the slot machines, the loosest slots in the state. And every time you play the slot machines, you are in the, for the Mustang that they're giving away on March 30th. All right. The wife and I will be here. We're going to try to win that thing, bro. Got to keep playing some of the slot machines. We like finding the MVP of the night every once in a while, and I got to tell you, I don't know if I could call him the MVP of the night, but he is an MVP. So this gentleman is going to get the award today for our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Just going to call him a flat-out just badass MVP, and it's Bill Zito. Bill Zito just continues to make moves with the Panthers. And I got to tell you, that window just continues to stay open and open and open because the Panthers have great ownership, some of the best ownership out there. But Bill Zito makes some great decisions. I mean, Stolarz this year to back up, Bob. And hell, he's the best road goaltender in the NHL. So Bill Zito ends up making the Tarasenko move, all right? And Tarasenko, by the way, is going to play on the left side of Barkov and Reinhart. Holy shit. Tarasenko, Barkov, and Reinhart. Holy shit. That is just amazing, dude. And then he signs Gus Forsling to an 8-year contract that it looks to me like poor representation for Gus Forsling. Because it's just $5.75 million per year. And when you see what Forsling does in every game, he's just awesome, dude. He helps you in every area of the game, which is just amazing, dude. So Bill Zito, for me, William Quigley at Cutter's Edge Pro has clearly made Cutter's Edge Pro the dominant force when it comes to landscaping here in South Florida. They do it all, folks. Synthetic turf and tree trimming and removals, landscape design, outdoor lighting, irrigation. They do it all. And remember, when you add landscaping to your business, your home, HOA complex, whatever it is, value goes up. And if you got landscaping, but you need it maintained, call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will help you with maintenance. Bill Zito, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and Alan Blanco and the great people in Hialeah. We just passed by his business just a few minutes ago. 786-618-1443. If you need custom printing and embroidery, hats, magnets, pens, shirts, uniforms, whatever it is you need for your business, 3A Graphics sports calendar, Alan Blanco, custom printing and embroidery. Call him, man. 786-618-1443. Tonight on TNT at 7:30, Heat and Mavs. Mavs are favored by 4.5. They're at the American Airlines Center, I believe, is what it is over there. And the over and under is 229.5. At 7 o'clock at Amerant Bank Arena, Flyers are visiting the Panthers. Panthers favored by 1.5 goals. Flyers, the over and under is 6. And then tonight at 9, the Concacaf Champions Cup begins. InterMiami and Nashville. InterMiami favored by 0.5 goal, plus 120. Nashville plus 0.5 goal, minus 160. This will not be an easy game. It never is an easy game with Nashville, dude. They are a bitch, all right? And then Nova Southeastern, they're in the Sunshine State Tournament. They're taking on Lynn University today. So there you go. That's your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. What else do we have to talk about? Love the Jonnu Smith deal, just in case you're just tuning in. I think it was a fantastic deal and addition to the Dolphins. It's good to see that. Oh, man. Steelers plan to meet with Russell Wilson, says the report. He just does not fit that Steeler vibe, Russell Wilson. Right? When we talk, Cordell Stewart went through a tough time there because he was kind of emotional too. Wasn't there a scene where Warren Sapp taps him on the ass after a tackle and has some choice words for him, and apparently, not Russell Westbrook. That's not Westbrook. That was the receiver. Cordell Stewart. Apparently, Cordell Stewart was really an emotional wreck at times. And Russell is that he's so straight and narrow. It rubs guys the wrong way. In that environment, you better be elite to be like that. And he's no longer that anymore. You could get away with it when you're Kurt Warner because you're slinging touchdowns left and right. You're the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. You could get away with it if you're Mark Brunell, right? Because he was a God squatter too. Certain guys can get away with it because they're still playing at an elite level. But eventually, once you cannot play at that level and you're not a guy that really relates to players, like Drew Brees was a pretty straight and narrow guy, but he was a different character. He could get psyched up, and he was a true leader. He challenged people and all that kind of stuff. So he was a little different. You know what I'm saying? So just I look at that situation, and Russell, and he didn't play bad last year, but I think the Steelers need somebody that's going to elevate them. He's not there anymore. Now, if you are going to try to develop a young quarterback, this could be a bridge for you. He's getting all that money from Denver. He's not going to be asking for a ton of money. He really wants playing time to prove himself. So if you are going to develop a young guy, then maybe this is the time you bring in Russell, because Russell will be a team player. He'll be a good person. You know what I mean? But it's kind of weird when you see that story. By the way, are you like inspired for the baseball season? Because I can't because of the damn Marlins. Like, I know they're going nowhere. It sucks. Just sucks. They take the fun out of everything.
I don't know. Their pitching staff might keep them in if they stay healthy. That's the thing.
They don't even have their complete pitching staff. Sandy's out.
No, Sandy is, but their first like three starters are legit, and then the fourth is the guy who did good the year before but struggled last year.
Rogers?
Yeah, so if he could put that back, you're looking at
I hope so.
Pretty good starting four at least.
I would like to be there with Sandy to level things off as the ace.
Yeah, but see how it goes. How far out is he still?
I don't know. Months.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to come back anytime.
Yeah,
but
if anything, he's coming back towards the back end of the year.
Yeah, because I was listening to.
You got to take it nice and easy with him, bro.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but that's the problem. Will they take it easy with him? That's going to be the thing.
Well, they're paying him, so
yeah. But that might be why they try to. That ownership there might try to throw out his arm just so they can get out of the contract.
Oh God. Social Derek says the take on Wilkins is 1,000% on the money. Thank you, sir. Marcella says reporters want to have things to write about. Most don't care about the team if there's no angle for them to make money. Even that's why I'm a weird media member, because I'm openly a fan. So, but it's not going to stop me from being objective about it. But I do give a shit. I do want to see him win. So I'm not going to create drama just to create drama. That's not my thing. Drama will come anyways, dude. Even though he's not worth it now, it depends how desperate other teams are going to. Yes, exactly. Somebody will give Wilkins money, a lesser team, because they're going to need to make a splash. Oh, what is the Bitcoin halving? Is it no, it's not a stock split. No, there'll be no splitting of Bitcoin or nothing like that. There'll be no making of any more Bitcoin. It's just 21 million, period. The problem is, or the process is, every 4 years, a halving happens that only allows you to mine half of what you used to mine. Every day, miners around the world mine 900 Bitcoin that goes into the market. Okay? They're buying thousands every day, and only 900 are mined. So now in about 43 days, 42 days, it goes from 900 to 450. So the supply shock is going to be enormous. Less are produced, yet more is in demand. You do the math. That's why it's going to skyrocket. 4 years from now, it goes from 450 to 225. Then 4 years from that, 225 to 112 and a half. And so on and so forth until we get to zero. And then there's no more. And there'll be no more. There's no stock splits. There's no printing more. It's immutable. It's not controlled by any government. There's no CEO. There's no company that can go broke and then has to use the funds to then drain your dollar, like Bezos selling $6 billion of his Amazon stock, which of course will hurt the value, or Tesla or anybody else, or anybody going bankrupt, or being sued, or SEC or FCC or anything going after them. None of that. Try to explain to people. And so, study, man. Go learn about this, because it's worth your time. Okay. Let's see. Jay Tung goes, ugh, 30 minutes of sports talk. The halving is a relation to the reward miners get for completing the equations. The reward is cut in half. Exactly. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin, and something like 20 million have been mined. Yep. It took Drake Callender kicking the game-winning penalty to beat Nashville. They have been Inter Miami's kryptonite outside of injuries. Amen. That coach of Nashville hates us from the get-go. He's a really good coach, bro. His team is always well prepared, well organized, but they don't like us. They don't like our team, and they take pride in beating and giving Inter Miami trouble all the time. From the expansion year on, they have been I don't think we won a game against them in the expansion year. We might have tied. I mean, like they've always been a pain in the ass for us. Always, dude. I don't know what our record is against Nashville, but it's not good. It's not good. We got to turn that shit around big time, dude. Devin Jordan says, just spoke to my homeboy at work who's a huge Falcons fan, and he said, y'all boys got a beast dog in tight end. Yeah, of course. He can play, dude. He's got great speed, too. The Rams just re-signed their their guard by Hunt. The Tarasenko move is the icing on the cake for the Panthers. It's just, I can't say enough about Viola and Sifu. They're just absolutely amazing, dude. They really are. Let me get you some birthdays here and a little entertainment news. First of all, let's go with the birthdays on March 7th. Bryan Cranston, actor, is 68 today. Jenna Fisher, actress, is 50. The Office, just in case. Let's see. Laura Prepon, that 70s show. She's 44 today. I was always a Prepon fan in that 70s show. Wanda Sykes, she's hilarious. She is 60. Rachel Weisz, movie actress, is 54. John Hurd, movie actor, born in 46 on this date. We lost him in 2017. And Jordan Pickford, soccer player, is 30 years old today. That is birthdays today. Let's go with music history. In 2010, on this date, Bret Michaels found himself explaining his new song, Nothing to Lose, which featured a then 17-year-old Miley Cyrus singing about slowly getting undressed. He said that the lyric is not a reference to her and that the song isn't even a duet. In 75, David Bowie's 9th album, Young Americans, saw its UK release. The album featured the hit song Fame that would become Bowie's first #1 single in America. And again, I've mentioned this before, The song Young Americans, Luther Vandross is one of the backup singers in David Bowie's band at that time, an unknown Luther Vandross. In 87, the Beastie Boys became the first rap act to have a number one album when their debut effort, Licensed to Ill, topped the charts. Still remember having my Walkman and listening to Licensed to Ill while I'm walking through the Vatican. Just picture that. Yes, the real Vatican. Yeah. That was my choice of music while I'm listening, while I'm going through the Vatican. Licensed to Ill. Here's another story. All right. In 2000, men's fashion magazine GQ named Oasis singer and asshole Liam Gallagher the best dressed man. I'm sorry, I added that. I'm sorry. That was just. It was a fact. It should be there, but you know. And these two idiots won't get back together again. I read an article about why they should be in the Rock Hall of Fame, and they should be. They should. I mean, if you're going to put T-Rex in the Rock Hall, you can put Oasis. If you're going to put Donovan in the Rock Hall of Fame, you can put Oasis. Okay? I mean, there's several bands I can pick and artists that, you know, as much as I dislike Liam Gallagher, and the Gallagher brothers are a bunch of assholes, but I do love their music, and they are fantastic. They're not better than the Beatles. They never were. They never will be, but it is what it is. In 2006, actor Jared Leto's band, 30 Seconds to Mars, began their first headline club tour in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He probably scaled the building after that, too. That's a crazy dude, bro. That guy does some funky shit out there. Did you guys see Nick Saban decided to retire and like freaked everybody out? And he kind of explained, people have been wanting to know, you know, what the hell happened? Why did he leave? So Chris Lowe published a story from ESPN that gave us an inside look. And one of the things Saban mentioned was that he felt like his message was no longer resonating with players. He said he was really disappointed in the way the Crimson Tide players acted after their 27-20 loss to Michigan. Saban said it became more clear that when he met with his players back in Tuscaloosa, that it was time for him to walk away. Listen to this. I thought we could have had a hell of a team next year, and then maybe 70 or 80% of the players you talk to, all they want to know is two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play, because they're thinking about transferring? And how much are you going to pay me? Saban explained. Our program here was always built on how much value can we create of your future and your personal development, academic success in graduating and developing an NFL career on the field. So I'm saying to myself, maybe this doesn't work anymore, that the goals and aspirations are just different, and it's all about money. And can I make it as a college player? I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's never been what we were all about. And it's why we had success through the years. And I got to tell you something. There's a part of me that relates with Saban and completely understands what he's saying. And he's right. It's not that it's wrong, because players do deserve to get money, because the schools have been printing money for years from TV deals. The coaches make all kinds of money, and the players really aren't going there for an education. The ones that are going to all those Power 5 schools, they all think they're going to the NFL. Most of them aren't graduating. Let's be honest. Okay? So really, they don't appreciate or cherish the degree. They don't, because they don't really strive to do anything except play football. So I get that there has to be some kind of compensation, but here's the flip side of it now. And you know what's the worst part about this is? They're not mature enough to handle this situation. Once you've graduated from college, once you're into your mid-20s, into your late 20s, you start to develop that natural responsibility that comes with your profession, your career, your job, your bills, your house, your relationships, right? We grow as adults. At 18 years old and getting NIL money since you were 15, you have no value of money. You don't know what it's like to work for the money. And please don't tell me that you're playing football so you're working for the money. That's a load of shit. Okay? It's a load of shit because you only play a couple of games a year. You have an entire off season. You don't live a real life like the rest of us. Okay? So you're not mentally mature enough. There are very few players that are going to be mentally mature enough to be able to handle all of that. Because now when you get to college, right, they need you to perform at a high level. And you can't just mail it in and make them look like shit. Look at Nigel Pack, right? There's already talk that you have a shitty year and you may not do well. He might transfer for the final year, go somewhere else because you're not winning. So he's just using you. So it is pollution for the sport because we're probably going to have to go through a cycle of 10 or 20 years of players being used to getting paid, and then maybe the work ethic starts to develop overall for everybody else. But before that, you had the carrot dangling in front of you to become responsible. You needed the grades. You needed to graduate. You need a diploma. You need to get drafted. You need to make the team. All of those the same carrots that we all have dangling in front of us in regular life, right? We need the grades. We need to graduate. We need to learn a skill. We need to learn a career. We need to then keep our career. We need to maintain our careers, right? Isn't that what the whole there's always a carrot dangling in front of you. These athletes have no carrots dangling in front of them because you've already been putting millions in their pockets from NIL from high school. And so now in college, when you need to push them, dude, I've gotten paid already. I'm made and paid. I don't need to work for you. And so it's going to be harder to be a coach because you're really going to have to try to find players of character that are above the money. And how many of those are there? How many of those exist? Oh, yeah, I know one. And he's a Manning. He doesn't want to be part of the game, right? What's the Manning's first name? What's the kid's name? The Manning kid. What's his name? Arch Manning. Yeah, he doesn't want to be part of the game, which what kid turns down the game and the money? Nobody. But he does because he doesn't need the money. You know what I mean? So and he's not killing himself to go somewhere else to play like every other kid would. Every other kid outside of Arch Manning would have left Texas to go play somewhere else. Truth or not? I want that money and I want that playing time. Arch Manning's like, no, I got time because I have it in the bank. And now he's been raised right, so he's just working hard and he doesn't care about that stuff. He really cares only about football. But he's been raised differently. Kids that have nothing, you got to expect them to take all that. And then on top of all of this, they're not going to be mature enough to handle their responsibilities. You are, I am, he is, because that's what we lived our entire lives. We had the carrot dangling in front of us because the carrot continues to dangle in front of us every day. For these kids, even Nick Saban can't reach them anymore. I read that. I was like, wow. But I love the honesty about it, and you can't slam it, but you can criticize it. You can understand it, but you don't have to agree with it. And it's terrible for college football overall. So now you're going to lose good coaches. And so your foundation for your coaches are going to get worse. So your draft picks aren't going to be as good. Anybody that takes over for Saban, are they going to do any better? No. Doesn't matter. It's just it's the way it is. So it's so effed up, man. It really is. It's so effed up. Anyway, Yes, sir.
The Rams guard, 3 years, $48 million deal, puts it about $16 million. So it looks like the range for Hunt will probably be about 17.
Pay him, bro. Pay him. That's what I would do. I think they're going to pay him. I think they'll agree to a contract with him when it's all said and done. At least I hope so. But I have that feeling because they didn't tag him. And by not tagging him, I kind of think they might be close to a deal. You know? So, John Young, thank you for the love on Venmo, by the way. And John, I appreciate your lack of knowledge. Thank you for the donation. But I'm going to be honest, just because you donate, says we were good enough, but quarterback choked like he's done for 4 years. John, man, I just want you to know they didn't have a playoff team the first 2 years. There's nothing to choke, my brother. He actually won more than he lost. You know, and it was the coach that decided to use Jacoby Brissett or Jabroni Brissett over him. And then finally he bailed him out in that Ravens game and then went on. But you can invent whatever you want. And then last year, John, he was injured. So there's no way you can choke when you're injured. Okay? You want to call him a choker this year? That's fine, bro. Go ahead. Everybody played terrible, including Tua. That's fine. But 4 years, it makes you sound really stupid because there was nothing the first 3 years. And they were never a playoff caliber team the first 2 years either. And in the third year, unfortunately, they were too injury riddled. Besides Tua, they had a whole bunch of other injuries. But I get it, my man. You lack objectivity, so your ignorance makes it say 4 years, and then that makes you look incredibly stupid. Think about that. You're blaming somebody for 4 years when you can really only blame them for one. It's kind of like the same stupid shit that I hear from dumbass Dolphin fans that say Tua can't win playoff games. Like, he's only been to one playoff. Just one. That's it. Just one. So you're going to judge the guy by one trip. And what was it, the coldest game that we have people that got frostbite and have their digits being cut off now? Several people that went to that game just exposed their skin for 2 seconds and they got frostbite and they're cutting off limbs. You know, so yeah, it was a terrible game for everybody. Everybody choked. But to make it sound like he does it every year when he's only had 1 year, it kind of shows your bias and it really shows that you'll never be objective about the situation. So, but hey, John, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Doesn't mean I'm going to kiss your ass. All right, with that, with John's dumbass comment, we will wrap it up here on the show. We thank Steve Calabro and, of course, Mr. Brunetti and the Brunetti family for always being very supportive. You got to come out here and check it out. Look at this guy. He is gambling, and he's got food right next to him. He's got a stack of chips. There's TVs everywhere. You can bet on any races there at the window. It's a beautiful thing. So come on out here downstairs. Machines galore, 800-900. I don't know how many there is. There like 1,000 or whatever. They've got the smoking hot slots outside. So if you're a smoker, bring your vape pen, your cigar, your cigarette, smoky out there and play your slots. And they got a lot of ventilation, so it's really cool in there. And then out here, of course, there's a smoke-free casino inside. So that's another thing. While you're gambling, you're not going to have people throwing smoke in your face or anything like that. And by the way, in the second level poker room, if you are a cigarette smoker, they have a balcony out here, right? You can walk outside and take your smoke. It's a beautiful thing, man. And they've got a nice area here where you can hang out, watch the show with us and talk sports or whatever. So come on out and join us. Appreciate all of you out there for tuning in and keeping it locked. Remember, you can always make a donation to our show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Oh, by the way, Stephen Harris is asking for a stupid chat. In honor of John Young, let's go with a stupid chat. I think that kind of... No? You eliminated it? The stupid chat is gone? You misplaced the stupid chat? Stupid chat. Stupid chat. Stupid chat. There we go. We'll do it that way. You found it? Oh, okay. Well, we did it. And we thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend. Of course, I thank my wife, my motorized partner that gets me around everywhere. That really has, without her, I would not survive these 4 and some weeks. I would have gone crazy without this woman. Anyway, I would be lost completely without her, too. Anyway, we will see you tomorrow. We're at Acura, right? Tomorrow? Acura? We are at Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Bright and early afternoon. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, no, it ain't 10 a.m. I forgot. She's got to work. 3:30 again tomorrow afternoon at Acura Pembroke Pines. Be good out there.
This is the Big O Show.